Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. We're live with what is going to be another amazing broadcast. Not one, but two special guests today, and one of my favorites, one of your favorites. And the phone lines will be opened up for all of you after the first segment of the show, because I know when we get today's guest on, it is high demand to speak to Mary Dusina. But before I go anywhere and before I bring my co-host slash guest Jimmy Jeans on as well, let me get over the obligatory intro of yes. This is the Kev Baker Show, and we're coming to you live from Smart City, Glasgow, right under the Data Dome, complete with facial recognition for school children now. There you go. Yes, and we're going all the way from America to Australia and just about everywhere in between. In this dimension, other dimensions, and we will be going multi-dimensional today, folks, because not only is Mary Dusina with us, but we are on tfrlive.com. And I remember doing a show with the amazing Chris and Cherie Geo, where we got banned in over 210 countries in the world. Well, there's a slight problem there, because there aren't 210 countries, not in this world. Maybe if you add in many other worlds. So yes, this is the network where they don't want you to hear what we're saying, because we practice free speech and we give you your protection from deception, and where silence is consent. And of course, somebody who comes onto the show every Wednesday is my good friend, Jimmy Jeans, host of Into the Microcosm over on Aftermath FM. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend? A special guest with us today, man.
I know. I'm excited because usually I'm just kicking it on the couch listening, and I'm super excited. I can feel the electricity in the air.
Is the Pazio electricity flowing, man?
I know. So
Mary
I'm out here.
electricity.
What's that?
It's Mary electricity.
I know. Well, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Can't you feel it, ladies and gentlemen?
I'm
Feel
worried
the
about you because you've got
vibration.
this sword in your hand and it's going to act like some kind of lightning rod for when Mary starts doing her thing, dude.
I think it just might.
I think it might as well.
Might.
So yes,
And
you may even turn into Jesse Jeans tonight, right?
No, Jesse. I'm going to be in my alter ego, Jesse, my quiet cowboy character.
The cowboy hat on, man.
It's not good for radio to be the strong silent type, but I'm gonna do my best. Since we're over here on YouTube, I'll strike a few poses.
It's not just that. I've brought Jimmy in for spiritual protection. He's sitting there with a sword ready to swipe away any booga woogas or ooga boogas. Since it is coming up to Halloween, it's the Hunter's Moon, and what better guest to join us than our favourite astrologist, metaphysics expert, interdimensional communicator, past life regressor, animal whisperer, you name it, Mary is on it. And Mary Dusina, for anyone who doesn't know, is a star shaman, psychic, tarot reader, astrologer, and mystic. It's Mystic Mary, indeed. She was born on Halloween, no less, and did the first psychic call-in show in the Tampa area in the 1980s. You can visit her website over at marydusina.com. But for one day a month only, she's here on KBS today with me and Jimmy. It is Scary Mary. How you doing? You've never had an introduction like that before. You've never had one like that.
It's true. I love that you featured Scary Mary and Jimmy Jeans holding a sword. Yeah. And I promise you, audience, God bless you all, I promise you, audience, I did not know Jimmy Jeans is on today. Thrilled. I did not know until right before we went live that Jimmy Jeans is holding a very, very special sword. Kev just sent me a picture of it over the internet. So, Kev, if you don't mind, I would love for Jimmy Jeans, not Jesse Jean, to be able to talk just a moment about the sword, because I do know that signs and omens are here for a reason. So before we get into this very powerful Plutonian, Aries, Libra axis, archetypical moonrise, do you mind if Jimmy talks to us about the sword, how it came to him and what it means and what it's associated with?
Absolutely not. And let me share with you, Mary. Jimmy needs absolutely no encouragement whatsoever. Jimmy, come on, tell us, man. You know you want to tell us this story.
Well, as far as the sword is concerned, I mean, where I got it was I was at a flea market, and I was just walking around, and I happened on this kind of a weird stand, and there was a whole conglomeration of stuff, and this thing was laying on the ground next to another piece that I bought that I subsequently ended up taking apart. But this other piece that I had found was like a magic wand. It was made out of a thick piece of Hollywood, and then on one side of it, it had a brass dragon about 8 inches long that was flying with its talons out, and in each talon there were skulls. And on the back end of that, there was a skull and a bunch of crystals on the back end of that magic wand. And then this sword was there and a couple other pieces. But I keyed in on this specifically because of there's quite a bit of detail on it, and the handle itself is a portrait of Carlos V, Spanish king, and he is standing on the body of a conquered victim. He is planting a flag with a triune at the top of it. It looks like you would imagine, like a pitchfork type thing with 3 blades. And then on the flip side of that is where the jewel would have been. And the jewel is actually missing, but there was a place here on the handle for a jewel, but it shows on the other side, it shows a knight's helmet. Above that there's a small cross with lines to show that there's a energy coming from this cross. Above that there's some angels, and below that where the jewels are, there were some angels down there too with some spears and whatnot. But and then on either side of the handle, there's skulls on either side of on the handle there, where your hand would be protected while you were using this sword. And then there's Celtic braiding and design all down the blade. So it's a special sword, and Carlos V is a special person in history too. There's quite a bit about him, but I think overall, I think the thematic of what you were describing with this particular moon and the alignments that are going on right now, this sword is always with me. It's always been with me. Every show I've ever done, it's been here. It's just that recently it's been in a place where I could reach it. So I always have it in my hand when I'm doing shows now. And so it just happened to be here today. Just happened to come in, and you had mentioned some things about the sword when we got in our original conversation when you got on the phone, and that's why Kev says you're not going to believe this, because Jimmy's actually holding a sword right now, because you came in talking about swords. So it was just
getting
a
that
synchronistic
psychic
moment.
woo going, Jimmy. It's got that psychic woo going.
That's what I was saying. The electricity is in there,
Yeah.
man. The triune of power.
What do you make of it, Mary? What do you make of it?
A lot. It is. It's not. It takes a lot to kind of flabbergast to take a one that's used to signs and omens and doing interdimensional communication with the angelic and the sacred fire and all of that. And I am so honored that the supernatural favor brought this forth in everything that he just described. Number one, Pluto turned direct around mid-month, and Pluto in mythology is Hades, the lord of the underworld. And with Pluto, something's got to give. When Pluto goes direct, then we realize what we have to let go of, what has to die in order for us to have a victory. So we have this King Carlos. Think about the tarot. We have a King of Swords and a Knight of Swords. When he talked about both sides of the designs of the handle. Number one, Spirit told me you will get a crystal or a jewel and put it back in there. The reason that the jewel was missing, or the crystal, whatever, or rock, whatever you choose to put in there, is because that's going to be your signature, your own spiritual and earth temple body medicine, the one that you choose, whether it's sapphire blue or it's a golden stone or whatever you're drawn to, or amethyst, or it's meant to be put in by you, whatever it is. Whether you get a crystal cut like that or a quartz crystal that's clear, whatever it is, that's going to go in, because that's the I, capital I, as well as EYE, of the mystical power aligning itself with you. You're giving to it. It's giving to you. It's no accident in this current time in the celestial alignment of things that sword, you've always had it near you, and now you find that you actually want your hand with that talisman, with that earth-friendly artistic companion, because I often say a mirror is also a blade. You can take the glass of a mirror and it can also become a weapon. It can become a protection. People scry with mirrors like they do crystal balls. So the blade sometimes is also significant, rather than what has to die, the old that we have to let go of or cut ourselves free from, the boundaries, the restrictions, the tethers of either the angelic forces, which you mentioned, or the demonic forces, because the divine gave mankind authority, but the divine is the power. Notice the shift. The divine sources, whether you go by Buddha or God or the Christos or whatever, that the divine is your soul anchor, but the divine is the power that gave mankind authority to choose, and choose we must. So when you have a blade, when you actually have a implement that can hunt or take life, or as in olden days of kings and queens, knight someone to grant them special privileges or special honor and recognition for their loyalty to the kingdom, or their loyalty to serve the queen or the king and to bless the subjects of the kingdom. So the blade and the sword, the swords in the tarot suit has a lot to do, depending on how you learned it. I'm just going to go with mine. Doesn't mean I'm better than anybody else, just how I learned it, folks. So try to keep it calm. Don't get up on your hind legs with me. So the swords have to do with the air element. And the air element are the energies of Libra, where we are right now, Gemini, ruled by Mercury, and Aquarius, ruled by Uranus. Jupiter just went direct on the 18th since April, and Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, just went direct the same day as Jupiter, over on the 18th, a couple of days ago. So what we have is forward march, and often in battle, whether it was the First Nations people's language battle cry, but often you would hear charge. And when they yelled charge, the swords, the arrows were drawn, and they proceed to forward march. So this is a cycle of going forward. And the moon in Aries is fire. So there's your fire dragon. And so the claws that are coming out from the fire dragon with the skulls has a lot to do with certain questions, which even go back to the Hopi prophecy. This full moon sets off. I don't like to get too technical, Kev, and Jimmy. You can go get as technical as you want to with those kind of book learning type astrologers around the internet. But let's keep it mystical. Let's keep it etherical. So what we have right now is all the planets, all the big players that were retrograde up until October, Saturn and Jupiter and Mercury and Pluto, they all turned around. And so what we have right now is we have a reckoning. And this cycle finishes out mid-April, because mid-April is when we started a bridge of becoming, some new earth life soul teachings and soul lessons that started mid-April with that April 11th, 12th new moon. Did the exact days matter? No. It was the only Aries lunation new moon, where the sun and moon were in Aries for this year of 2021. 2021 is asking us, what have you won? What are you ONE with, and what have you WON? Aries is the battle, and Aries is what you would get up on your hind legs for, what you would bow up about, what you would take up arms or the blade or the arrow, the bow and the arrow. So this is the first full moon. If we go in the order of the zodiac, Aries is always the first sign, Aries the ram. So the shofar is sounding with the moon's inner light. So the moon is our subconscious. It's our etheria, the astral realm, our dream land. It has everything to do with what we have stored and had embedded at the cellular level from our childhood of this lifetime, from visions and understandings of perhaps, as the indigenous peoples teach all over the world, another walkabout. So what's coming up now is the fountain of illumination, but it's steam. and it's fire. So it's the ceremonial fires. Fire has to have air. It has to have oxygen. So the swords are the air, and they're stimulated right now, the Libra and the Aquarius especially, the nodes. Until we get to the lunar eclipse of November 19th, the nodes are still operating in air fire, the North Node in Gemini and the South Node in Sagittarius. So this year has been about the pursuit of what is my truth. What would I fight for, and where do I hesitate to fight? And are my beliefs that I've held on to for so long, and particularly over the last 19 years, that was the last nodal cycle, are my beliefs and what I held to be my cherished beliefs and everything that I was allowing to be my energy driver in this lifetime, if my earth body is the vehicle and the fire of divine literally breathes me, what energetic signature, what modality, what protocols have I allowed to actually be in charge? There's that word again, in charge of me and going forward. So it reminds me of the fact that this full moon is actually in what we call a square. Now, a square is a 90-degree angle, and in astrology, oppositions and squares are known as the ruh-roh kind of relationships or aspects. So the square, we've got Pluto in Capricorn, we've got the goddess energy of Eris, which is the energetic stimulant of discord, and words that can cast spells, words that can create life or death. That's the what we say and how we say it that can literally cut someone off from us or cut ourselves out of a deal. We can literally say, I'm not doing it. It's not a win-win. Catch me later. I'm out. So it has, our words have a lot of fire and empowerment to them. So right now this full moon is saying, watch your words. Libra says, listen. The sun's in Libra, Mercury's in Libra. It's in its shadow until November 2nd, even though it went retrograde. It went direct on October 18th, along with Jupiter. So we've got our A team. Aquarius and Aries get along well together. I see this as a baptism by fire. And you talk about John the Baptist, and he's baptizing in the river by water, the cleansing, the effluvia of a new birth, coming anew, rising up from the waters, the baptism by water. But the divine baptism is by fire. And we often talk about the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit. So this is the fire of all that is sacred. And there's a reason why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So this full moon is saying, you better pause. You need to listen, because there are nuances that are subtle, even underneath someone's ranting and ravings. Listen intuitively to the subtle messages that are beginning to come forth from that person's pain or that person's need to be right rather than getting it right, that person's rageaholic type of tendencies or the temper, the tornado tempers. All of that is just a shield that someone's using to try to mask their pain or their guilt or the shame or the blame. If they're casting blame, there's something they're not in accordance with within themselves. Aries can create that diarrhea of the mouth where people are just like flying out with all kinds of crap, and they really aren't even taking responsibility or having a cognitive awareness of the type of energetic frequencies and electricity that they're putting out there. So when you deal with the yang signs, when you deal with the fire or the air signs, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fire, and that's wands and the tarot. So this is like, where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a wand, there's a way. So this full moon is asking you, I found the Hopi prophecy again, a piece of the Hopi prophecy, which is, we're like at a standoff right now. It's that pause before we decide, am I going to battle? Like when King Carlos decided, yep, it's my sole purpose, it's my mission, this is bigger than just me in my life, I'm going to go do this thing. I may die in the battle of the war, and I've not studied King Carlos yet, but you can bet when I get off this show, I'll be studying it to respect why he came up supernaturally during the initiation of this show. But right now with war, Aries, Libra, seeking balance, justice, and peace. Libra wants the win-win. They don't like conflict. So we've got war and discord in a standoff. So our release valve, the pressure valve, is Pluto, the god of death. Something's got to give. You can't have it both ways. So right now, this is a full moon that's a path that does include the old dying and resurrection, the phoenix rises up in its own flames, in its own spontaneous combustion of flames. So it's time to connect and plug in. So the fire signs are the yang electrical. So the air and fire is saying something like this that the Hopi prophecy shares. You have been telling people that this is the 11th hour. Now you must go back and tell people that this is the hour. And there are things to be considered. Where are you living? And they're not talking about your longitude and latitude people. They're talking about your drivers, your energy drivers. Are you living in the ego? Are you living in fear? Is anger your driver? Are you frustrated? Are you giving up? Is the stress that you've been under literally now beginning to make your physical temple ill at ease, diseased, and sick? Because as every First Nation medicine man taught me over the period of 30 years, it starts in our spirit. The spirit, the soul, if it's broken, if it's fractured, if it's got fault lines, the mind gets infected. The mind starts to spin in an anxiety, monkey mind, can't shut it off all the time, OCD, ADD, and then it eventually, over a accumulation of time, starts to let that embed in the actual earth vehicle body, in the temple of a living God. So where are you living? And you might make notes. Where am I living? What seems to have captured my energy and how I'm living my life? So we have all kinds of variety during our day. But what's living you? What's crowding your space? Where are you living? What are you doing? What are you doing is what are you prioritizing? Is anger getting prioritized? Are you prioritizing whining, frustrating, concentrating on what you don't have yet, and you're bitching and you're moaning about that? And the next part of the Hopi prophecy, what are your relationships? What's the temperature of your relationships? What's the actual flow or the damming up or the blockage of that? Are you in right relation? Where is your water?
Wow.
How do you quench the thirst of your soul? You've got to know your garden. That's the body that the spirit is firing up in. It's time to speak your truth. It's time to create your community. And most of all, it's time to be good to each other. And do not look outside of yourself for your leader, because demonic energies feed on fear. They want to keep people upset and in chaos and in fear or in raging type of anger. So do not look outside yourself for the teacher. And then the Hopi elder clasped his hands together, smiled with an inner smile, and said, this could be a good time. There is a river flowing now very fast. It's so great and swift that there are those who will be afraid. They will try to hold on to the shore. They will feel that they're being torn apart and will suffer greatly. Know that the river has a destination. And the elders say, we must let go of the shore, push off to the middle of the river, keep our eyes open and our heads above the water. And I say, see who is in there with you and celebrate. At this point in history, we are to take nothing personally, least of all ourselves. For the moment we do that, our spiritual growth and journey come to a halt. The time of the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves, banish the word struggle from your attitude and your vocabulary. All that we do now must be done in a sacred manner and in celebration, for we are the ones we've been waiting for.
Whoa.
And that was the Hopi Elders prophecy on June 8th of 2000, about 20 years ago.
We have any sense, we will try and fight forward.
Yes, indeed. Always forward. And this so
I love him.
resonates with the whole Australian theme that we've had going with Evan and Stephen Strong as well. Jimmy, you've got a couple of minutes before we go to break, but I'm sure you've got plenty to come back with there for Mary, right?
Oh, I'm just sitting here listening, and I was just blown away because I had brought that part and story about the wand in unbeknownst to one of you, but you had the wands prevalent there in some of what you were talking about. So, I've seen some people saying that this volcano over in the Canary Islands, they're saying that may be the flaming sword. And I find that interesting too. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about swords lately, and so I mean, it's funny.
Jimmy, isn't that near Spain? Aren't they talking about that a tsunami or a tidal wave, if it really erupts, would affect Spain?
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? With the blade that I have here,
I feel you, King Carlos. I feel you.
Well, we are almost on the break, guys. And when we come back on the other side, I'll be giving you the phone number you need to call in to speak to Mary Dusina. Lots more on the way. Tarot, horoscopes, psychic readings. Scary Mary has barely got going. Join us on the other side, folks. Don't go anywhere. Okay, now, ladies and gents, you're just going to have to put up with my rather poor taste in music, but we'll be back in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. And anyway, Mary likes this one.
I do.
Yeah, it's nice and happy.
It is.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Guy, hit.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that was weird. Just coming back from the break there. A big shout out to everyone over on tfrlive.com. Going out on iHeartRadio, I believe, and TalkStream Live. You can catch the TFR stream over there as well. But we're also on YouTube and Twitch today. And we had 5 on Twitch. And just when we came back from the break, we had 55 over in YouTube as well. 555. And that's the perfect antidote to any 666 nonsense that's going around. But Jimmy's got his sword I've got my scary Mary in the room. I tell you, this is a combination that is very combustible. I hope you people are enjoying this out there. Hit share, hit like, get more people over here because we're going to be opening the phone lines up very, very soon. And the number you need to participate in what is always a chock-a-block call-in. If you're not fast, you're last, ladies and gents. I'm telling you, these lines go really quickly. So all you have to do is dial 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. And you can either get a psychic reading, you can ask Mary a question, you can get a tarot pulled. It is just awesome stuff all the way. If you haven't been here for one of these shows before, oh my word, just get ready. So Jimmy, yes, you got your sword ready to go, man. Mary hasn't even warmed up to anywhere being scary Mary yet. We've barely got going.
What happened? Did you go? Are you still there?
does
Yes,
warm up.
we're still here. But Mary, before we open up the phones, what I usually do anyway is get you to pull a tarot for me personally. But for a Cancer guy, no, I don't mean I'm ill health. I mean a guy that is a Cancerian star sign. What should I be
The moon.
aware of moving into this Hunter's full moon?
Well, it's especially strong, this particular Mars square Pluto that's effective actually deep into Thursday. Thursday as we approach midnight, depending on the time zones, like in Eastern and Pacific time, it'll be around 9:30 on Thursday the 21st that the energetic driver of war is in its opposite sign. It's in Libra. It's in the air. It's the new dawnings, new beginnings of peace. So the warrior is kind of betwixt and between, can beguile and bewitch because he's in Libra, and so this full moon's clashing with that. But for Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries, it's a time of recalibration. It's a time of like resurrecting and rising up and over any of the former obstacles. So especially for Cancer and Capricorn, it's a dynamic about how they're going to be charging forward, like your general that you love, always march forward, always charge forward. It has a lot to do with the fire of desire. And if you pull back that word and you go back into Aramaic or Greek or Latin, DE means of or with, and sire has a lot to do with the father. So desire can be of the father spiritually. It can have to do with that protective, spiritual, supernatural favor. What are we desiring? And also what it is that is been collapsing our energy, of what it is that's been draining our prana or our chi or our vital life force. And when I say that, I'm not saying ascribe blame on any other externally. Don't blame the partner. Don't just blame the child. Don't blame the parent. Look at what's getting triggered, Aries, within you, because Pluto's in Capricorn, and any of you born in the middle of the month, have a little surprise for you. The next, starting with this one, all the full moons, write this down, all the full moons starting with this October moon of 2021 will be at 27 degrees all the way through March of 2022. Here's part two. All of the new moons from this one all the way into March will be around 12 degrees. So when you look at that 2 and 7 in numerology, it's a 9. When you look at the new moon number of 12, there's 12 signs, 12 months in our measured calendar year, 12 disciples. So the 12 adds down to a 3, which is the Empress and the tarot, and it has a lot to do with the purging and then the creation. So what are we giving life to? What are we choosing to give our vital life force, our attention? What are we training for? How are we first taking ownership, being authentic and taking ownership of where we get in our own way? That's the infancy of Aries. You know, when the shofar, when the ram's horn is sounded, it has a lot to do with, like in late September when we talked, you know, Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, it has a lot to do with the times of atonement, the 10 days of awe, and then the Jewish New Year. So in that culture, this is like boots on the ground going forward. And the shofar, the Aries, that's their trumpet. That's the way they bring the past to the current. The sounding of the shofar is very
I need to get one
ceremonial.
of them for Jimmy. Jimmy would look awesome blowing on one
Oh,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can get them. You can get shofar. I want to get one too. They're incredible. They're
I-
absolutely incredible, the energy of that. It makes you a time traveler, actually. Now, with Jupiter going in Aquarius, Kev, this is like, it was interesting on the break. I started seeing that goofy little character back when that movie E.T. Phones Home. I started seeing that character. I'm like, what are you doing here in my vision? We're on a 3-minute break, 3 again. And I saw E.T. Phone Home. So there's something about an ultra-terrestrial and an extraterrestrial dynamic that I feel is going to be making some major news stories or headlines. To me, it's always supernatural if there's an earthquake or there's a volcano that Jimmy was talking about, or tsunamis, or like sudden shocks and awes. But I believe there's going to be something to do with an ampage, an increase in ultra-terrestrial experiences like visions. The Archangel Uriel came to me, Uriel. Uriel is the color ray of both Aries, and we're moving into the colors of the fire. So it's the gold and the red together, and Uriel's name means fire of God. God is my light. It's the starlight. It's often depicted as an archangel, one of the main 7 archangels, light of God. And in Enoch, it's shown as a sword drawn. There you go, Jimmy. The sword is drawn, and it's a fiery flame in his hands. In the Agrippa texts, they'll show Uriel with a book in one hand because he's got to do with the use of words. He explains visions. He came to Noah and explained the energy to Noah about saving him from the flood. He's often said to have watched over the Garden of Eden. So Uriel means limitless light. So right now with Pluto, which is the lord of the underworld, the darkness, we literally do have a type of psychological and spiritual battlefield going on right now as we approach the November 19th lunar eclipse. Now, that doesn't mean that it's bad. It has to do with the time of reckoning. Some days we have easy days. We don't know. When people say, I don't know if I believe in things I can't see, or I don't believe in the supernatural, do you understand everything about digestion and elimination of the body? Well, no, why? I said, yet you eat. Yet you eat. You eat and you go to the bathroom. So there's a lot of things that you may not see or understand the gears and the mechanics of everything that's working, and yet you participate in it. And I'm here to tell you, as Mystic Mary, Scary Mary, the ampage, the voltage, the recalibration of what we're all going to go through, especially Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, and Libra, as we go forward between this full moon and November 19th lunar eclipse, is epic.
Yeah,
It's
one of
epic.
my other
And Jupiter.
regular guests I had on yesterday, Ben Emlyn Jones. He had a weird experience recently with missing time. So he's not the kind of guy he's not usually the experiencer. He's usually the researcher that's looking into these cases and things. So even watching Ben talking about it, recounting it, I could see how troubled he was by this. But the ultra-terrestrial communication thing, and it could just be because I look at this information anyway. But it does feel to me like there's more things going on. And I often query what happens next when it comes to the whole alien disclosure that they've been pushing for a while now. And I don't know, maybe some kind of contact. I can see something. So I can definitely see where you're coming from there, Mary.
Absolutely. And think about it. We have the Aries energy. There's the A team, as I say, astrologically, the Aries and the Aquarius. Aquarius is we the people. Aquarius is anything and everything to do with space, the invisible frequencies. I mean, people go and they use their microwave. They don't see the waves bouncing around, but it's happening. There's electromagnetic radiation coming off of a cell phone, or when you're going and getting an X-ray at the dentist or at the doctor. You don't see it necessarily with your 2 eyes, but yet there's a picture, there's a portrait that happens. There's effects that go on to the electrolytes and the magnetic frequencies of the heart and the brain and the body. So I really feel like our elements right now to pay homage to pay attention to is, and I think we started this on the Pisces full moon last month, Joe. It could have been with Joe. It could have been with you, Kev, over on Lighting the Void. But what we're inhaling, and most people are unconscious of this, but breath work is very important right now. What you're inhaling is what you're allowing to take seed or give life to. When you want to purge and release fears or worry or stress or anything that is causing you ill at easiness, you want to exhale that out. And with Archangel Uriel, which assists us with visions. It's an archangel for that. It's the angel of wisdom to be able to transform on the mental plane. So it's transforming negative thoughts and patterns. It's the limitless light of the Father, of God. So God is my light, fire of God. It's the Merkaba. You know, some people say Merkaba, some people say Merkaba, but it's the vehicle of light that's our soul star. So anybody born in the middle of the month, regardless of your sign, but especially Aries, Libra, and Cancer and Capricorn, if that's all you know about your star map is just, you know, I know my birthday is blah, blah, blah. Those people of all 12 signs that are born near the middle of the month, this is more of an epic game changer in your psychology. Hopefully you're looking in the mirror at you first and owning your own crap before you project it out there or get triggered by people, and take a little bit of a pause going, why did that trigger me? What in me got set off by those words, that action, them ghosting me, them being lazy with me, them not respecting me? Why did that trigger me? Where does that come from? There's a little trail you can go down in your past and your childhood, past lives, whatever you want to work on. Call your angels, call your guides, ask for repentance, and redeem yourself. So, you know, if you don't show up at your karate class, or you don't do your exercises, or you don't practice your yoga, then it's not the teacher's fault, is it? So redeem yourself from your own lack of purpose or lack of discipline or involvement, because both Aries and Libra say, you want results? Get busy. Do it. Participate. So for you, Kev, in the tarot right now, Libra's card is Justice, and Aries' card is the Emperor. But when you look at balance, you can't leave out the 14th card, which is Temperance. And when you look at the twos, all of the twos in the minor cards in the tarot, the Two of Pentacles is the juggler, balancing the coins. The Two of Wands, he set the mission, he set the boats out into the ocean, and he's standing there watching the boats. The pirates are going off to find the treasure. You know, they're going off on the vision quest. The knight is going off on vision quest as well. If you look at the Two of Cups, they're pledging. The yin yang, the male and female, are pledging. So in the Two of Swords, there's a blindfold on a female. She's sitting on a concrete bench, and her swords are crossed because she's taking the pause to look within. So it's about, what do we need to do with our thoughts, with our emotions, with our desires, and with our fears to be able to come back into an alignment and balance. The planets have turned direct. Most of them have turned direct. So your mission statement, your purpose, your vision quest is up for review right now. Okay, Kev, let me pick your card.
Always lots to think about when Mary's in town, Jimmy boy.
Now,
Okay, Kevin, you got wands. You're in the realm of the magic wands, and you got the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, and you guys can pull that up on the internet if you don't have decks. The Four of Wands is a celebration at home base. It's a celebration at your home is your castle. So the first home is our indwelling spirit in the house of the earth body. And is it a prison house of skin and bones, or it is a magnificent temple of electromagnetic biochemical rainbows and frequencies of supernatural divinity? That's how I like to see mine. So the Four of Wands is, there's no limits to the creativity. The wands are fire. So it's telling Kev to look at what gets you fired up in a creative way. When you look at the medicine wheel, the four directions have different kinds of animal totems. East, the new dawnings, the eagle. South, coyote or rabbit. Sometimes in some tribes it's the mouse. The south is the inner child, you know, going back to a sense of wonder and being able to break away from inhibition. West is the bear. West has a lot to do with what I call our sows, our significant others, our key partners in business and in intimacy and in life. What are we partnering with? What are we pledging allegiance to or with? North is the magnificence of the divine. North is the elders, our ancestors, the angels. It has everything to do with those life coaches and those people that inspire you, and all these wonderful people that do these podcasts that bring you, it's the spirit of the air. You know, it's what's in your atmosphere. When you go over the air waves, when you're listening to someone's words, listen and silent are both found in the word listen. If you rearrange the letters of silent and listen, they both live there.
As a man that
So when you
plays
get
Scrabble,
silent-
I quite like that. That's a very, very shrewd observation there, Mary. We'll need to have a game of Scrabble one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so the Four of Wands is saying to you, Kevin, even in the astrological chart, the ascendant or the rising sign is east. That's your medicine wheel of your star map, your star wheel. And then the south, and then you go west, and that's the descendant. And the top is called the midheaven. So it seems to me that you are now afforded supernatural opportunity by how you anchor your soul and what fires up Aries, your spirit. What is it that gets you fired up that you want to expand on creatively? And so I feel like that there's going to be a momentum that your visions and your ability to accomplish and your desire to do it in a unique, flowing, healing, hallowed, harmonious way. I feel like that the way of woo for you is that, you're going to commit in the three signs of autumn. The signs of autumn are Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, before we get to solstice, Yuletide. So I feel like that you're going to boo it up big. You're going to boo it up big with your woo. I think this is really going to be a monumental time right now with this Aries. Remember, the moon is starting over. This is the first full moon in Aries. She finished off the 12 signs last month, September 20th. So this is a key full moon if you're Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra, or that is your rising sign. This is your time to bust a move, as they say, and get serious. Get really serious about what you want to manifest.
I like it. I like it. So listen, the phone lines are lining up, but Jimmy, I see you want to jump in here, man.
Well, no, the phone lines seem to be lining up there now. I mean, I'd be willing to get scary with Mary and have her pull a card on my behalf.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me shuffle those.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thank
Sounds good.
Thank
So
you,
listen,
Divine.
while we're waiting for that, people, if you want to call in, the number you need is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. We've got Mercedes. We've got a lot of callers from the US. We've got one from the UK on as well. Wow. So what's Jimmy's card then, Mary?
The card that comes out when I said my piece with the Almighty I Am Army of Light, I pulled the Eight of Cups. To me, the eight is always special. It's the infinity symbol. What goes out travels and cycles back to you. It's a halo with a twist at the center intersection. This is a card of vision quest. The cups have to do with the fountain of the heart, the heart's eyes. Anybody that wants to study the magnetic frequencies of the heart, go on YouTube and listen to Greg Braden or listen to Dr. Bruce Lipton. They often lecture together all around the world. But this has to do, I'm going to send the picture to Kevin. He does have a magic wand, Jimmy. He's got a magic wand wrapped with herbs, and he's in his secret mountain oasis point. There's a stream in the mountains. There's like a lake or a river, whatever it is. He's got the golden cups all stacked up, meaning he's appreciating whatever is manifested in his life at this point. So I would say 8 weeks from now and 8 months from now. Look at that 8. 8 weeks from now and 8 months from now, Spirit's telling me are evolutionary epiphany points.
Wow.
There you go,
So
Jimmy.
the letter E is important. Evolutionary, you got the 8, E, E-I-G-H. So evolutionary, epiphanies, empowerment, enlightenment, evolvement, and energy. So look at play with the E words. Like Kevin likes his Scrabble. Spirit's telling me to have you look at the words that begin with an E that please you. And maybe you're going to be working with some of those with your incredible mystical wand and your sword, to work with how might I energize and empower my topics and my subjects that I bring forward on my shows. How might I enliven? How might I energize? How might I empower? How might I have a way to allow someone, as guides, just simply as guides. It doesn't make us any more powerful or better than anybody else, but as guides, if we can plant that seed of light, then we are the magic wands of divine. We do hold the sword that fights the good fight of light, that allows the light to be on the blade. So it's the light, it's the holy fire that's on the blade of the sword, which is why you're wanting your hand to be on it. When you're sitting down to do your podcast or your broadcast, it's like, I want my hand on this sword because I understand that there is a knight's code.
The night, Jimmy,
And
Sir Jimmy.
that feels ancient to me with you. It feels ancient with Jimmy. It feels like that he if he studies the knighthood. Like I remember being just absolutely fascinated when the remake of the movie Zorro came out with Banderas, playing the young one, the one, and I think it was Anthony Hopkins. That was the older version of Zorro, and he came riding in on that Andalusian black horse, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. I think that's where they actually, connected up to their current lovers, So it was an interesting movie, and I remember sitting there with my date, and my date looked over at me and he said, "You're not looking at Banderas or Anthony Hopkins, are you?" And I said, "No, I'm in love with a horse." So it had to do with, of course, I'm looking at the knight's, the knight's ride, the horsepower. So it has everything to do with what are you now wanting to, the sword wields, we wield the sword, so the sword cuts away the brush, or it cuts away the brambles and the fairy tales and the myths. It cuts it cuts a path if we need it to do. And so you got the Eight of Cups, which is saying this is a path of empowerment. This is a path of bringing light into your world. So everything's going to be the ampage, the voltage. It's interesting you use the term electricity. That's a neat.
Yeah, well, it's interesting too is that my bloodline goes back to 13th century Ireland. Not necessarily, I wouldn't say to royalties per se, but it does go back to the estate of royalty. Yeah. So it's really powerful and really poignant for me because I'm at a point I've been taking because we Kev and I and everybody that does this we have to absorb take a lot of hits every day having to absorb this information. So this is a key moment and what you said there really is going to invigorate me and enliven what I'm going to do. And I appreciate the message. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for saying the word point. The sword has a sharp point. So when people say, "Do you understand my point? Do you understand what it is I'm trying to tell you here?" And you do. But this isn't about ego. This isn't about ego, but I would also, besides searching out King Carlos and your Irish ancestry a little, I'm not talking about doing that 24andMe and sending off those spit DNA tests. It's like, oh, please. So I would, if I were you, I would just kind of offer that in my dreams and in my etheric realm journeys. And I would call my personal sacred guardian angels and the archangels to reveal to me in meditation or in my nature walks or in dreams to be able to say, tell me about the nights. In my night, NIGHT, reveal to me nights of divine light, what it is I'm to know about the night's code or the energy of the night. And even study the 4 nights in the tarot. And look at the Knight of Swords. There's an obvious one. I would start with the Knight of Swords and go to the Knight of Wands because you have both.
The Photoshop potential that is going through my head right now, Jimmy, is unbelievable. I'll have you on the back of a horse. I'll have you as a Templar knight. Dude, you're going to be everywhere. You're going to be photobombing everywhere as a knight.
Just don't make me look like that shaman dude from the thing.
Oh no,
that was scary.
I didn't say pseudo.
I'll send Mary a picture of that.
Yeah.
I'll send you a picture during the break, Mary. You'll probably wet yourself laughing what I've done to poor Jimmy.
Well, it is Halloween, so it's a time for costuming and assuming that alter identity.
Well, listen, we are going to have to really double down after the break and get into the phone calls because I'm having to scroll to see the bottom of them now. And we'll be going to Mercedes first. But before we get there, let people know the other show that you do with Joe Roop on Light in the Void when they can catch you, Mary.
It's the new moon. So the new moon is when we have the sun and moon in the same sign, and as ancient star readers, we call that when the sun and moon marry. And so when the sun and moon are opposite each other and trying to understand each other and the dynamics. So that's with Kev, so we're trying to cleanse and purge at the full moon, but at the new moon, this is where we're wanting to activate and initiate. So I'm pretty sure the next one's like November 6th. It's either the 4th or the 6th or somewhere around there. Whenever the new moon is, that I'm on Lighting the Void with him. And it's a late night show. In my time zone, I'm live with people from midnight to 2 a.m. Talk about commitment, right?
I like that time in the morning. I like it. Nothing
I did
better than
not-
late night radio. It's got a different feel to it.
It'll be
altogether.
November 4th. I'm sorry. It is November 4th. I thought I had it right the first time. So, and you might, callers, please be patient so we can touch the light on this trick or treat full moon. Please be patient. And when you get your message, don't ask 2 or 3 questions. Just be glad, have an attitude of gratitude that you got through. We're going to move quick so we can, Kevin and I have been talking about really wanting to get as many people as we can.
Awesome stuff. We'll be back after the break, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Shove on some music. Here we go. We'll be back. 3 short minutes. Don't go anywhere. Remember, visit marydusina.com. Oh, wow. Z Troy, man, thank you very, very much. And I hope you feel better soon, brother. I've just been where you are right now. And listen, is it not the most horrendous version of
Z
man
Troyman
flu?
donated £20 through Super Chat.
Thank you so much, bro. Honestly, you do not know just how timely that is. But Z Troy, please feel better. Lots of fluids, man. Lots of feeling sorry for yourself on the sofa. And you'll be right as rain. You'll get there. But thank you, Z Troy.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Sport in the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of today's Psychic Special right here on KBS Live on Truth Frequency Radio. Yes, your protection from deception, where silence is consent, and where Mary Dusina appears once a month under the full moon right here on KBS, and she takes all of your calls. And today, when I say all of your calls, boy, oh boy, it is record numbers again, Mary. This is crazy.
Thank you,
We
Kev.
have
Thank you,
got
Spirit. Thank you, Holy
1,
Ghost.
2,
Thank
3,
you. Thank you, lights
4,
of love.
5, 6,
Kev,
7, 8, 9,
while
10,
you're
11,
counting,
12, 13, 14, 15 people queuing up to speak to you, Mary.
thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Thank you, Almighty I Am. Spirit told me during the break that I needed to say this because I've studied herbs and essential oils for a long time. October, no matter where you live in the world, because we shift Libra into Scorpio, Libra being the only sign that has a lot to do with like the scales of justice, how we need to balance. So the essential oils right now, whether it's your candles or your soaps or the essential oils that you're working with, cedar, frankincense, and sandalwood are great choices right now. And it's really valuable if you're consuming. Think about this time of the year, if you're in the autumn realms, this time of the year, almonds, walnuts, everything to do with cashews, almonds, walnuts, they're becoming, the flowers turned into it takes time to bear fruit or to actually make the nut off of the tree. So almonds, walnuts, and eating blood oranges. The citrus really helps build up your immunity if you can find blood orange juice with the pulp. I just did it at the store, and it's like $6 for like a pint. But if you go look at a bag of blood oranges, they're like the most powerful immune builders. And also what they call mandarins or clementines are good. And eat raw garlic. Just put it in your soups and in your sauces. And if you buy a store-bought pizza, that's okay.
Plus,
put some good olive oil on top of that and chop up some raw garlic because
plus it'll keep the vampires away for Halloween, right?
Exactly.
See.
Well, there's a reason why those things are associated with that because garlic, the allicin in garlic, actually purges and cleanses the blood and helps rid the system of parasitic energies. Think about parasitic spiritual demons.
I absolutely, you're spot on there, but I need to get to these phone calls because if not, we're never going to get through them. And Jimmy, you're all muted up.
We're rolling. Get ready, callers, because it's going to roll fast. Don't and ah with this on the phone. Get ready. Assume the position to get your message, and don't promote and don't chat, and just get it.
Yeah, and listen, assume the position is exactly right. But listen, don't forget to always eat chocolate.
Always.
Polyphenols are good for you no matter what you do.
And it's chocolate.
Mary, I opened up my deck over here. I pulled a card for you, and it was the chocolate.
Oh, thank you.
It's the chocolate card.
Magnesium. There's a lot of magnesium in chocolate, and that's a natural muscle relaxer. It takes away stress. There's a reason that it's featured on all those romantic holidays, the chocolates, Halloweens and Easters and Valentine's Day chocolate.
Okay.
One of my favorite movies.
Talking of treats, let's do this. Okay, we're doing this. I'm putting the foot down now. We need to get to the calls.
Yes, sir.
So,
here we go.
First up, we're going to our good friend, regular caller when you're on. Somebody who loves speaking to you. Somebody who's been on Kev Baker's show before. I believe she's going to be on Warrior Mode this week. It's our good friend Mercedes. You're on with Mary Dusina.
Hi there.
Hey, Mercedes. Happy Scorpio birthday coming up, Mercedes.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
We can. We're going to move quick, though.
Okay, good.
Do you have a question or do you want a card?
Okay. I would like you to just do whatever.
Smart girl.
Like you can just.
Smart.
Well, yeah, just pull a card, whatever you want.
It's whatever spirit directs is the way to go. Okay, you got the Three of Rods, which is in this deck. That's the Hanson Roberts deck. It's the Three of Wands. So 3, as I was speaking about to Jimmy, at the 2 of Wands, the ships are sent out on vision, quest, or mission. On the 3 of Rods or the 3 of Wands, the results are in. So there's beginning to be the arrival of the ships. Will my ships come in? Will my wishing ships come in? So there's something that's going to be advancing and coming in for more of a success. You can't push it. You can't control it or direct it. You simply need to let yourself be the divine instrument that's played by the Creator and that is moved in. Like, you need to become the instrument and not try to be the marketer, the director, the controller, or get into panic mode over it. You just simply need to breathe and allow and trust, because that's what this is. The returning ships are coming in. So all the treasures or whatever they got when they went out to SEA, SEE, the things that you needed to see are now coming ashore with more. And that's what Spirit has for you.
Thank you so much. I love that, and I appreciate that very much.
Thank you, Mercedes. We'll talk to you soon, I'm sure.
Casey, I would talk more, but I know you're busy and you got to go. So thank
we
you
are.
so much,
Happy
Ken. Thank you,
Halloween.
everybody.
Trick or treat. Boo it up big. Next caller.
And we'll speak again on Sunday, Mercedes. Thank you for calling in today. That was a great way to start the phone in. We're going to move quickly on now to area code 757. Welcome to the show. You're on with Jimmy. You're on with me, Kev, and more importantly, you're on with Mary Dusina.
Hello.
Hi
Hello,
there.
caller.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you. You
Can.
sound loud and clear.
Do you have
This
a question?
is
or
Lori.
would you
I'm
like
in
me-
Virginia Beach.
Okay.
No, honey.
Would you like to have a...
No, honey, I follow you on LinkedIn, so go ahead and pull me a card.
Okay. I feel like that it's interesting that we were talking about... Thank you. We're talking about swords and blades, and you got the Three of Swords, which tells me that something in the past that already pierced your heart, something that was a tale, T-A-L-E, of the heart, something that you had to take the higher ground, and even if you personally didn't get to have it your way, as the commercial goes, you took the higher path, and it's like, it's okay. I can walk away from this, or I can let this go, because in the long run, it's going to be better not to fight this or not to drag this out. So it's like Spirit wants to kind of pat you on the back and congratulate you for that, and it morphed you into the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, she's concise. She raises her hand. She has a sword in the other hand, and she's got her hand up in the air beckoning the person to come toward them, Lori. And so what she's saying is, come before me, make sure it's to the point, bottom line, make your point, because a queen with the sword in her hand has the ability to either knight someone and to elevate their status in the kingdom, in the queendom, or she can cut their head off. So it has a lot to do with the feminine, the yin aspects within you, and how you're nurturing and how you're giving is being celebrated in Spirit. The divine sources love the way that you are being some kind of an intuitive, nurturing mother voice for others. So I see that is the way that you're being like the earth healer, like the Mother Earth type of healer. And again, it's going to be, as we spoke in the first hour, the beginning of the first hour, how you express what you express and how you draw people in for comfort. They keep telling me it's a cup of comfort, a cup of comfort. So maybe that's the cups. Also in the oracle and the tarot, cups are hearts. So I feel like as long as you're operating from your heart chakra and your heart center, and again, the eyes of the heart, that's the higher octave of Libra. Libra is the kidneys. And when we're happy in our heart, we aren't pissed off. We're not having problems with our kidneys. So, and it lets the toxins flow out of the body through our tears, our perspiration in the kidneys. So I feel like that your flow is because you were able to let it go.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Perfect.
Wow.
Appreciate you. Thank you, honey.
These callers are always awesome when you're on, Mary. I'm left speechless sometimes. I really am. So we're going to move now to area code 775. Welcome to the show. I think we're going to the no, I don't know where this is actually, but area code 775. You're on with Kev, Jimmy, and Mary.
Good afternoon.
Howdy.
Good afternoon, Mary. I love you.
Oh.
And I did want to say a brief confirmation from the last time I talked to you. You had mentioned about diet and getting, I was trying to get rid of some poisons, and I was actually doing that at the moment. I was working on ridding a horrible cyst, and I was trying to delve into herbs and getting more roughage, and I was doing good, and it was I managed to get rid of it, and it was a beautiful confirmation. Wow. So today, I just pull me a card, honey.
I feel that there's a very strong, loving, fatherly, patriarchal, divine, and it feels like the masculine energy of the seraphim. and of the archangels. I feel like that the Spirit now kind of is wanting you to lean in a little bit to what I call, I don't even know if it's the correct term, angelology, to like start your meditations, your ceremonies, your prayers into which one of the divine hierarchy wishes to be walking alongside you as a primary guide, because I'm feeling that it's got to do with a visionary guide. It's like a footprint in both worlds. So you've got the air and the etheric and the heavenly, the multi-universal realms. But I feel like when heaven chooses to light up and assist us in our earth life, of course, first you have the authority, they have the power. So you have to use your authority to make the choice to invite it in. It's by request. You have to invite it. That's what an altar is, whether it's a cross or a ceremonial fire or someone's drawing a circle. The altar is the in-between, heaven and earth. So I feel like that maybe you need to create an altar. Maybe you need to redefine what an altar is for you, like what crystals, what cross, what little things that you like to be on, what you would consider to be your healing altar. Maybe some certain oils or certain colors of the drape or the cloth, or maybe it's just you going outside with a kiva and lighting a fire and being under the fire of the starlight, and your altar becomes the stars. That's often my altar. I go out in the mountains and I'm under the stars. I mean, that's my altar. I love that. I love the twilight, and I love the tween time between sunset and the starfire. So that's automatically my nature altar. So for some people it's the cross. For other people it's certain symbols and things and crystals and colors. So I keep feeling like that with you. It's that crossroads. It's that visionary point of where you summon, and grant permission and actually declare. I keep getting the word, you need to declare and summon that by your authority, you're calling in the power of light. You're calling in the power of all that is of sacred and of vision and of heart light, wisdom, and seeing with the heart's eyes, and that you are, as it says biblically, there are those who have eyes that will see, and there are those who have ears that will hear. There's so many people that wouldn't listen to you if you told them truth right to their face. They're trolls on the internet. They live to argue. But then there are those who are going, oh, I see, said the blind man. So there's something about, Aries is the main five senses right now at this full moon. So it's how it tastes to us, how it smells to us, how we see it, and how we hear it. So it's about that. It's like back to Kev's Scrabble word game. Listen and silent are both hidden as you just rearrange those letters. Like in newspapers, they used to have those letters. You had to unscramble the letters to get the word. And so I feel for you, there's power in the silence, because you're going to be able to be afforded the blessing of being able to receive, not only seeing the vision and the signs and wonders, but you're also going to actually have clairaudience, and you're going to be able to have these angelic guides actually speak to you in your dreams and in your meditation. So have that notepad and pen ready, because I feel it's going to come in fast and furious.
Have you ever been to?
Thank you.
Have you ever?
Having dreams.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
I was going to say, have you ever been to Ojai, California?
Me or the caller?
I have.
Anybody on the call. I know
the caller
Kevin
has. Yeah, the caller has. Yeah.
Okay, so in Ojai, California, there's something every night. It happens every night. It's called the pink moment. Okay, and when you're there and it happens, it's everything because of the way the sun is and the way that the sun is going down and the way it refracts, and because it's a special place, this pink moment happens. And so, I mean, that is the moment in between, not here nor there, the cavitation point where anything's possible.
Yes.
And so,
yes. Is that the Mount Shasta area?
No, it's right down in Southern California, actually. You wouldn't even.
Okay.
Yeah, it's down there. I want to say past Santa Barbara a little ways. But
okay,
anyway.
I've been to Northern California. Yeah, I've been to Northern California. I haven't been to Ojai, but I'm going to tune that in on the internet. I'm going to go find a YouTube video later, and I'm going to type in the pink moment. Just like over here in North Carolina, we have the brown mountain lights, and that's an interesting phenomena. So I'm going to type in the Ojai pink moment. I think the callers the audience, this particular caller, and I think we should all do that, because Libra's color of empowerment, besides the animal totem being the dove of peace, Aries the hawk of war, Aries is red, Libra is pink. So you're right in tune, Jimmy. You're right in tune.
And maybe we can all find, if we can't go to Ojai, maybe we can all find a way to have that pink moment wherever we are, because it's that moment of divine inspiration that comes where you can take that divine inspiration, take your intent, and have it materialize by you putting one foot in front of the other and making the action happen. Nothing happens until you move. That's all. Everything else is you're sitting in a chair, gestate the idea, have your pink moment, and get on the stick and start moving one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, absolutely, because as we all know, our spirit is not limited. It's only the mind that puts limitations on it, or the emotions or our memories, but our spirit is unbound. It's unbound. So I'm going to be having my pink moment. I'm looking at a pink rose quartz right now. I'm going to be having my pink moment, because I love the tween times of pre-dawn and pre-twilight. Those are my favorite times. Caller, do you understand what you were told by the pink moment? And you have been to Ojai. Did you experience the pink moment in Ojai?
I experienced many pink moments. I was an over-the-road truck driver for 20 years, and I've been everywhere, and I was never so psychic as when I was doing that. And now that I'm retired and stuck in one place, I'm having trouble with that.
So
but I
listen
still
to Jimmy.
fly in my mind.
I was going to say, listen to Jimmy. Some herbs will help you fly out of the body and the mind easy. Don't let your mind limit you, because it's not body, mind, spirit. It's spirit into mind, then into body. So let your spirit be unbounded. And as a truck driver, my God, for 20 years, you've got so many visuals that you can just sit in that chair that Jimmy was talking about, or on your deck, or on a nature walk, or on a concrete bench, and you can go right into some of those favorite moments that you physically, tangibly drove through, went through, and you can actually expand upon that, and your spirit, your mind can go there, so it keeps your mind and your ego busy. Your mind and your ego can go there, and then you can fly beyond that, straight up into the upper heavens of those vortices, those points, those contexts of power. You said you drove all over, I bet, in 20 years. That's awesome. Congratulations. And so let the retirement not make you tired.
I've got 2 million miles on notches on my dashboard, honey. And
well, look at the word retirement and look at the truck. The truck has tires.
In the woods of Northern California. That's where I'm at now.
I love it. Well, California is a Virgo, so there's a lot of mystical. There's a lot of theories about Lemuria and Atlantis, and so it may be that you're going to be tripping the light fantastic into some of those invisible to the human eyes, but very real to the inner eye. So I feel like that you're still, we're all we're still cave dwellers. We still journey, we still fly in mystical ways in our dreams, and we don't have explanations for that, and yet we go, and then we know. So I feel like it's just a different version of journeying.
We're going to have to move
and
on.
I appreciate you.
I feel really bad today. I feel really bad because there's so many people
bad.
on the line.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but that was a wonderful call. Thank you for phoning in. And we're going to move on now to area code 732. People out there will be shouting at me, they'll be like, that Kev Baker, he cut me off too quick. 732, welcome to the Kev Baker Show. You're on with yours truly, Jimmy and Mary Dusina. Over to you.
Everything's predictable, but it hits all the right pleasure centers in your brain where you laugh. When you smile, dopamine's released.
Got to love the dopamine.
Love it. Love it.
Did he just say
dopamine? Thank you for that.
That's why I'm especially glad.
Oh, I said dopamine.
Yeah.
He said dopamine.
Yeah, there's dope. There's my dope.
You dope. I don't want it.
Would you like me to pick a card?
Here, don't you want the towel underneath your foot? That seems hard.
Are we there?
Okay, I'm going to move on to the next call. I have no idea what was going
Anyway,
on there.
the card was the world. Just in case they get this on a reverb, on the card was the world. So they're going to go into a major expansion, but they're going to be busy.
I think we almost had a flying kebab there. We're going to the UK this time. It's on the mobile.
I was trying to use a good thing when my mute button was on.
0700. Welcome to the Kev Baker Show. Wow, that was pretty wacky, but very much fun.
That was Hallowoo.
Hallowoo, yes, you're on with Kev, Jimmy, and Mary. Well, fingers crossed this goes better, Mary.
Well, good evening, Kevin, Mary.
Oh, is that
Sorry?
my military brother Rick?
It is
I'm
indeed.
honored.
I know that
Yeah.
accent
Honored.
anywhere, man.
Email.
Yeah, Mary, this is a very,
that's,
very... On you go, Rick.
Digital problems. Mary,
Yes, sir.
God bless you, my dear. You've given a lot of people good hope here.
It's sincere. I
mentioned
promise
the word-
you, it's sincere.
Yes, I can hear it in your voice, my dear.
Thank
That's
you,
one
sir.
reason I'm speaking, dear.
I'm
you
honored.
mentioned the word sword. In the last couple of days, I was in an antique shop. And I seen these blades. And I thought, well, I might go collect them. And I had to go over and actually touch their blades. For no reason. But then I went back in. Thought, well, no, I might go back in and buy them. But that's just the point that you are making. It's not that I'm going to be raising my arms. There's no need to do that at the minute, as I say. But you can do me your reading. I don't know if you need information from me about my birthday or anything like that, or I can keep blathering. It's up to yourself, my dear. I think you're a very wise
Thank you,
lady.
sir. Thank you. Thank you.
So,
thank you.
there you go.
That means a lot to me. Thank you. I get the three of the coins. I get the, speaking about buying the blades, I get the three of the, what they call the pentacles. In biblical times, what we refer to as coin or paper money or dinars or rupees was called talents. And so I feel like there's something to do with when you come across the blade, it's a reflection. We can see ourselves in a nice clean blade. It is a type of steel or stainless mirror. So I feel like that the blade is symbolic for you've cut through and released a lot of what used to get to you, what used to bother you. And I feel like that this is a year from now until October of 2022. Yeah, I feel like that you're on, it's like you're not starting a new chapter, sir. You're beginning a whole new life book. And I feel like that it's like you don't have to die in order to take on a new life. I feel like many, many things, new people, new fascinations, new hobbies, new passions and enjoyments are going to crank up in your life between this full moon and the lunar eclipse that rises over the 18th, 19th, and 20th of November. I feel very powerful that you're in a talent, artistic, creative artistry, creation type of a mode in your life. And I keep hearing my spirit guides saying, what is true and what is for you knows your face and knows how to find you. So I would venture to say, and I'll prognosticate and say that I feel like that everything and everyone that is beginning to take a step into your life in a surprising and deeper way from this moment forward, all into next year, is kismet. It's meant to be.
Well, you know, Rick, as we would say here in Glasgow, what's for you won't go by you.
Yeah. I'm actually taken aback by what you said there, Mary, because you're spot on. I've just been ordering kits to do sculpting they haven't done for years. And with Horseback UK, an old Marine friend of mine's got all the contacts. He's so, and yeah, that's mind blowing. Mary,
Scary Mary,
you're worth every penny of life. And I can see the moon due south of the Isle here at the minute as the clouds
how magical.
flying
There's nothing.
back
There's
toward
nothing.
the east.
It's very magical. It's very magical, as the natives of my country speak about, that call this Turtle Island. It's very magical and very heartwarming to thank Grandmother Moon, Mother Earth, Grandmother Moon. She lights up the inside of us with our desires, as we spoke about in the first hour, and she directs us to focus on which light rays. Like often I'll go up on the deck and I'll close my eyes, and when it's the moonlight, and I close my eyes and I say, "Thank you, Almighty I Am. Let me, with my eyes closed, just begin to ever so gently turn into the direction, under the constellations, under the fire of the star nation that will encode me with this moonlight and the starlight." Because, if you will, a moon tan is completely different phenomena than a suntan. So this is a wonderful time to allow that deeper illumination.
We're on the break. We're on the break.
We're
on the break. We're on the break. We ran into the break.
Thank you,
there.
sir.
Yeah, that was Rick, our good friend from Scotland. And before we go for the break, I just want to play this super chat from Z Troyman. Awesome, dude. Thank you so much. Here we go.
Z Troyman donated £20 through Super Chat. Much love, fam. I'm off to flu bed. Question everything.
Absolutely, Z Troyman. You wrap up warm. Hot water bottle, dude. I tell you, it's the weather for it now over here. But we'll be back in 3 minutes. Jimmy, before we go to the break, let people know what time you're going to be on later.
Yeah, 10:30 Pacific, Aftermath FM. Hey, so you want me to tell you, Ojai is a small city in Ventura County, California, northwest of Los Angeles, set in a valley of the Tastatopa Mountains. The city has a village-like center dotted with art galleries and new age shops. If you guys ever get a chance to go there, I'm telling you, it's a good spot.
It looks awesome, dude. I looked at some of the images. It looks beautiful.
Dude, and you know what?
Glenda the Good Witch must be from there. She's in the pink.
Is she? And you know what? There's hot springs there that you can go to. They're just, they're unorganized, so you don't got to pay or anything.
Damn, dude, just close your eyes and you'll be in Speculation Island. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're going rapid fire when we come back after the break. We've got 8 callers to get through. Oh, my.
We'll
Mary,
do it. We'll
you
do it.
are getting too popular on this show. We're going to need 2 phone lines.
Well, and I wanted to make sure I respected the military friend of yours over there. His energy felt very regal.
Yeah, he's been to the Falklands. Brave man is our Rick. A lot of respect for him.
Yep.
Welcome back, everyone. Final part of today's KBS on tfrlive.com. Remember to visit the website. Lots of shows there. and our good friend Lucky coming up after I finish today with the quantum connections. So no need to go anywhere. TFRlive.com. Of course, we've got Jimmy Jeans here with me today, and we have Mary Dusina, and we have got 8 people still on the phone lines. We're going to have to move quick fire, guys. We really are. So let's get right back into it. And if you want to find out more about Mary, go to marydusina.com. You can catch her every full moon around that time with me here on TFR Live. But you can also catch her on a new moon with Joe Roop on Lighting the Void. A big shout out to everyone over at the Fringe FM. So let's dive back into it. Let's go to area code 805. You're on with Kev, Jimmy, and Mary.
Hello, hello. Mary, can you do your thing with respect?
Yes. Thank you. What a great opening. I love it.
I like
he,
that.
See, he listened
like
to you. Oh, you got the wish card. But thank you for being respectful to the remaining 7. You have the 9 of Cups. This is known as the wish card in the Tarot. So when it comes upright, a wish will be granted. Now imagine that blue genie. Be careful what you wish for because you're going to get it. So the 9, we've been talking about 9s this evening. So the full moon is at that 9 number, 27 of Aries. So the 9 is like, what am I willing to let go of in my fear or in my doubt in order to achieve and manifest, like Jimmy was talking about, the pink zone, the pink spot, and travel into. So you can't open up a front door. You can't open up the door of the immediate future with one foot if you still got one foot keeping the door of the past cracked open. So it's like, I want to say, walk on. Just walk forward. You got this. You got this.
Okay.
And I want to say congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for being so respectful. Love that in the callers. They listen, they pay attention, and they care. I love it.
I'm telling you, it's a good synergy. We've got great guests, great callers, great network, all going on. So let's go to area code 734. Welcome to the Kev Baker Show. You're on with me, Jimmy, and Mary.
Hi, Kev. Hi, Mary. Hi, Jimmy.
Hey
Steve
there.
From Detroit.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you. Thank you for waiting.
Because you've been, no problem, Mary. You've been hitting things on me all day here on this show. My question is, I'm a cusp baby, and I've never understood exactly what sign I'm supposed to be under. And the cusp is coming this weekend.
Happy birthday, happy solar return, happy new year. Okay, technically, to astrologers that have been into this for 35 years plus, like I have, there is no such thing as a cusp mathematically. Now, you might be a 29-degree Libra or a 55 degrees of a Scorpio, but when you actually calculate, have that natal chart calculated, you can try to find out on astro.com, some of the free sites, but a true astrologer will let you know, hey, your sun, depending on, and you have to calculate it because every 4 years is a leap year, and so it bounces back and forth all over the place depending on location and time and all that. So the quick answer is you might have 5 planets in Scorpio, but your sun sign can only be Libra or Scorpio, and I will tell you it's worth it to find it out because there's a fancy little thing called the Antarctic degree, and if you are a 29 degree of anything, or whenever a planet hits that transit of 29 degrees, it's that magical oomph, like that magic wand, ding, that happens of the final bloom of that sign before it switches to the next sign, because there's 12 zodiac signs times 30 degrees. So at 30 degrees, you've entered the next sign. So go find out your actual natal chart. Just type it in on one of those sites like astro.com and look at the sun sign. Look at what they give you as far as the numbers, and you'll see that it might be 0 degrees, 30 minutes of Scorpio, or 28 or 29 degrees of Libra. But the flavor, like adding a little too much turmeric or a little too much curry, that's what the cusp is. But it's still soup or it's still pasta. You either are or aren't one particular sign. It's true. So all that question goes away once you calculate it.
Thank you,
So
Mary.
go do that.
I will. Thank you, guys. It's been great.
And happy birthday.
And I hope
Thank you, sir.
when you find out, it's going to make sense once you find out which one you actually are. Can't thank you enough for phoning in today. That was awesome. Move on to the next one now. Area code 619. Our good friend Regla Girl. Welcome back to the show. You're on with me, Jimmy, and Mary.
Good evening.
Hi, everyone.
Hey
Hi.
there.
Thank you for taking the call. I'm ready.
Thank you. How sweet. 6 of Cups. So this is a gift from the past is coming back to bless you in the immediate future. The cups always have to do with rewards and favors that hit our feeling centers. So it's that throat to the heart chakra area. It's just like when someone surprises you in the mail or makes a surprise donation. Thank you for doing that, audience, to the Kev Baker Show. You know, when they tithe or they donate or you get a surprise like that, it's like you just want to go, oh, thank you. So that's what I'm hearing my spirit guides saying. How wonderful! Thank you. What a great surprise. So you'll not only be receiving that, but I feel like that you genuinely enjoy doing that for other people. And you do it in a whole bunch of creative ways. Sometimes it's a surprise card, sometimes it's opening the door for somebody, and sometimes it's actually putting some nice currency along someone's path to say, I dig what you do. Thank you for you. That's what I get for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bless you. All righty.
Is that good,
I'll
Regla?
take it. Trick or treat.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you for calling in again.
Treat, sweets, treats. Yep, chocolate.
Oh, you can't beat some chocolate. So let's go
Yeah.
to
That's right.
next area code. I told you, Jimmy, the phones, they ring off the hook, man. It's crazy. We're going to area code 231. You're on with Kev, Jimmy, and Mary. Welcome to the call.
Hi, everyone. This is Jen from Northern Michigan, and I'm open for divine guidance.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go,
how
Mary.
nice.
There's an invitation.
Hi. Thank you, Jen. You feel serious. It feels like, my guides just snickered and they said it's not only Serious, but it's also the constellation Sirius, the dog star. And they're telling me there's something about dogs. There's something about how dogs like you. There's something about you're very serious when you work with or you look into the eyes of animals, especially dogs that may need that little meal or help along their way. There's something about, there's like a wonderful coquettish dog energy around you. It's very strong. Let me pick you a card.
Well,
I'm
currently looking
Go
at
ahead.
dogs. That may have to do with it, too.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if you're getting ready to foster, adopt, or rescue a dog, let me tell you, this is a walking medicine. This is a walking medicine totem, and you're going to know it eye to eye, soul to soul. It's going to be boom, just like that, going, oh my God, yeah. And then it'll just bloom out from there. And you got the Ace of Wands, and so the Ace of Wands, it's a magic wand. So like when you think about of all the Harry Potter movies and anything that has to do with a magic wand, it has a lot to do with the responsibility of casting forth that wish or casting any type of intention or desire, affirmation, or magic. And I will remind you, myself, and all of us, our word is our wand. So we need to think about what we're going to say, how we say it. We need to mean what we say and say what we mean. So there's something about letters, emails, text, communications. There's something about the whole social media. There's something swirling and orbiting there that has to do with messages showing up of pertinence and of prosperity. So I really like the whole dynamic of the creative and moving word. So the messages. And interestingly enough, the archangel that serves this moon, this Aries full moon, is Uriel, which has to do with the book and the fire and the words set on fire to inspire and encourage, not to wound, to cut, or to burn. So you're something of a wordsmith, or there's something about what you read, what you write, how you say that's going to become very important. You got to call us back and let us know.
Wow.
Even what you name the dog. Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah, you know me on social media as well, and their message is completely pertinent to my situation right now. Thank you, all of you, so much.
No, don't thank us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful. So moving on, we're doing well here. We've got 3 callers left, and then we'll get a chance to talk
Yes,
after that.
magical 3.
We've got area code 620. one of our viewers from YouTube, I believe. Welcome to the show. You're on with Kev, Jimmy, and Mary.
Good evening, guys. This is Ashley from Corpus Christi, Texas. How are you guys tonight?
Wow,
Howdy.
I like
Hello,
the
Ashley.
accent. I like
welcome
the voice.
To the pink, welcome to the pink chocolate zone.
Yes.
I normally
We should all
get
dress in-
through to you on. Go ahead.
No. It's you. You go.
I normally contact you on the new moons, and for some reason I was being called to get a message from you for the full moon. So I'd just like to hear what your
the full
spirits
moon
have
in
to
Aries?
say.
Okay, it's the full moon in Aries, and what you have is the Three of Pentacles. This is a female, interestingly, with a falcon or a hawk, depending on the deck, which is the hawk or the falcon can be Aries. The female with the pink roses, pink roses in her hair, have to, in the three archways filled with golden coins in her rose garden, in the vineyard, in the rose garden, and the castle in the background, has to do with she's happy in her solitary mode. I mean, she's playing with the hawk or the pheasant. It's one of the, the peregrine type of birds, but the hawk is messenger, and so she's gazing into the eyes of this bird, and the bird is not at war with her. The bird is on her hand, and they're having like that telepathic eye-to-eye, creature-to-creature, different world to different world, symbiotic love frequency thing going on with the eyes. I see you. I know you. I chose you. So she seems to be very serene and happy. She has over her left shoulder, she has crescent moons that go down into a full moon. So you seem to be in some kind of waxing and waning phase in your life, like you're looking at all the phases of your life and you're really just happy to be grateful and drink it all in. I feel like you're not wanting to rush or hurry anything. You really are getting the meaning, the wordplay of the moment. Be here now, because today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. So you're really filled with gratitude, and I feel that's waxing with you. I feel gratitude and appreciation, and really being able to say, my God, I don't want to rush any of the blessings and the prosperity that are beginning to cycle into my life. You're like, you could almost be like a cheerleader or a life coach for people with your own story, maybe, to say, I'm telling you, I understand the angst, I understand the doubt, I understand the frustration, but I promise you it'll change. It can change. But like Jimmy was saying, we have to be able to cut with the blade our own angst, our own fears, our own doubts, the demonic thoughts of I'm not worth it, it's never going to happen for me, look at all that bad stuff that happened, I didn't deserve. You got to cut that. You got to completely cut any focus onto that and see the blade first as a mirror, to be able to say, I see myself, I see the love in me, I see what I bring to the table, and I'm going to celebrate her. I'm going to celebrate that, and I'm going to celebrate him. It's that balance of the yin-yang. That's what I see.
Oh, thank you, Mary. Always so magical.
Thank you, honey.
Wow.
And happy early birthday.
I'll take it. Trick or treat.
Bye-bye.
That's a great laugh. I like that. Tears and Laughter. Khalil Gibran just entered the room. Tears and Laughter, a great book from the Prophet.
You have a wonderful day,
That is-
Ashley, okay? What'd you say, Jimmy?
I say that is a great book.
Yeah.
The Prophet, Khalil Gibran.
Well, I tell
I
you
love
what,
him.
that was our profound call today. I always say there's one of the calls usually stand out because you can hear a profound effect between the beginning of the call and the end, and certainly seems like whatever you had to say there definitely resonated, Mary.
Yeah, it's what flows through me, honey. I'm really not, all I do is get Mary Dusina ego out of the way and allow spirit to have its way with me. That's the main discipline and foundation that we have to do in a lifetime. Is it's okay to get to know your personality, but the divine fire that's within you, that which is breathing and operating the machinery of the earth vessel, and as we're walking down this red road, and we just keep walking on and learning, it's a timeline of adventure and vision quest in toto, if we let it, if we remain humble and we remain filled with integrity, and we choose inspiration, we choose to be inspired by divine fire, and we choose to give that so people can anticipate the good fortune that always was meant to be for them. It's all possible. It's all possible, but sometimes we get in our own way, you know?
Absolutely. So then let's move on to area code 479. Welcome to the show. You're on with Kev, Jimmy, and Mary. You'll need to turn down your TV or your radio. There you go.
Hello, Mary. And
Hello,
Kev,
caller.
I'm so excited to be joining you for a full moon and not a new moon. This is your sister
Thank
up
you.
north, and I'm asking for your divine guidance for me and my partner who is here listening with me for the first time.
Awesome.
Oh, how nice. Hello, divine partner. DP, nice to have you there.
Hashtag divine partner. I like that.
I do too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have that where once with the Five of Pentacles where it goes back and I once was lost, but now I'm found. I think that's an old mountain hymnal called Just As I Am. So I feel like that there's something that where once in the wilderness of the spirit or once was lost, and then I have the actual holy card, you know, the shaman or the priest or the rabbi or the medicine man. I have the Hierophant, which is number 5, which is interesting. Kevin was talking about 5, the 55 and the 5 over in Twitch. So the Hierophant has a lot to do with thou are receiving blessings, to thine own self be true, and the way is clear and the path is now being revealed to you. Understand that as you join together in divine partnership, which is the higher octave of Libra, then your ability to take the fires of the higher aspect of you and the higher aspect of your DP, of your divine partner, then you can actually go forth and do greater works in this world. When you get in tandem, you get in step with each other. It's like the military people when they're in lockstep, when they're able to like march together, they're marching forward. So I feel like it has a lot to do with you not needing to be in a battle, but understanding that you might have a mission of mercy, that the excitement of your partnership could also be very integral with how you are helping others than just your families or just your close tribe, but actually to how you go out and do the service. We're all here to do service, to help mankind and how we touch and sow seeds of light. So I feel that's very strong over the next 3 months with you and your divine partner.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Kev. Oh,
no,
this
thank
is
you.
amazing.
Thank you. Hashtag divine partner. I like that.
Yep.
I'm going to sneak that into the title of tonight's show. I think I like that. I'm going to be taking that one
I
with
do too.
me. I'm going to steal that one.
Yep.
We're going to go to the last caller on the lines. So if there's anyone out there who still wants to call in, make it quick. You might still have time. We're going to 828. Welcome to the show. Last but not least, you're on with Kev, Jimmy, and Mary. It's over to you, Mary.
Good evening, caller.
Hello.
Yes, you're on.
Oh, hey, this is Lisa. Anyways, shoot.
All right, let me. Libra. It's Libra, Lisa. Okay, so it's.
I like that.
Yeah,
Lisa
what a
Libra,
powerful-
or is it Libra Lisa?
Libra Lisa. Yep.
Yeah.
Miss LL.
Yeah.
Okay, you have the Two of Pentacles. I mentioned that at the beginning of the show when I was talking about various cards that have to do with the Aries and Libra axis. And the twos are all about the message is in the details. Not the devil is in the details, but the message is in the details. And here we have the juggler, the great juggler, who's like, he can be a street performer like there used to be in San Francisco and in New Orleans, you know, when you have the street performers and the people that walk on stilts and the mimes and all that. So this is, there's some high tide in the background. And although the juggler is very calm and serene, so they're staying serene and calm and juggling various situations with calmness and dedication and discipline, even though the ships are being tossed over high tides in the background. In the tarot, when you see the water surging and you see high tides and the ships struggling, the waters have everything to do with our emotions, and the ships, they got to cross the water to get to their destination. So there's two ships that indicates two key people, perhaps you're one of them, in your life. One ship is closer in to the shore, one's further out. So it's like the ships are on mission. They're seeking to pick up supplies, get it to their destination. Think about all the ships that are in this country logged off of Long Island and California. They're stalled out there. They're like just stalled with all those containers.
Right.
And so it's a juggling match to try to get things to calm down. But the juggler on the Two of Pentacles, if you look at it later, he's juggling with a lime green infinity symbol. It looks like a figure 8 on its side. So the lime green ties in with the earth and how the earth or the trees or the pine or the green of nature, the leaves, the tree people and our Mother Nature are going to be solace for you and very healing for you. So when you find that you're having a hard time deciding is it yes or no or is it stay or go, that green, get into the green of the heart chakra, the pink. I see pink and green at the heart chakra actually, and go into the heart chakra and say, oh, beloved soul of mine who loves to hang out with the heart chakra, with the heart center, reveal to me as I walk in nature, reveal to me with nature's totems in the sky and all the creatures, reveal to me that which you wish me to see. And one of the angels of nature is Archangel Raphael. And Raphael also blesses unions and partnerships, the sows, the significant others. So if you just invite Raphael, if all of you just go and start learning something about the seraphim, the ophanim, the powers, the dominions, the thrones, and the archangels, go just look them up, and all of a sudden you'll get this knowing within you of like, oh, I'm really drawn to that angel artwork. I'm really drawn to him. And then you'll know that that's the one that you can say, please, I accept, I receive, and I summon you to help walk with me with this current dilemma or this current scenario. Please orbit in my world. I invite you to assist me so that I may have extra sensory clarification. That's what I see.
Awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough in your ear there. Awesome. Thank
That's all
you
right.
so much.
You were clearing your throat so you can ask and receive. You were just clearing your throat.
That's right. Chakras. Speaking of. Okay.
That's right, clearing that throat chakra. So what do we do with our voice? We sing, we declare, we affirm, we whisper. Sometimes we yell and we scream and we rage. So that throat chakra is saying, find your voice, speak your mind, be true to your word.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you, Lisa Libra.
I like it, Lisa Libra.
Thank you,
What
ma'am.
a fabulous.
Lisa Libra.
Oh, you have a brilliant day. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you to everyone for calling, and a thank you to Sophie, whose birthday it is tomorrow. A very happy birthday when it comes from all of us here on KBS today. And Jimmy, dang dude, did I not tell you this lady's good?
Well, I mean, you told me. Not only did you tell me, but like I said, I listen every time I get a chance on a full moon. I try to tune in, and I'm so glad to have been here. It's been an honor to be here with you. And let me just say, I mean, just remember, just because a particular person may have shown up on the phone and taken a card, there might have been messages going out of here. Might have been for you.
Yep.
You might have heard something today.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Yeah, we had that one time before. Yep.
I believe, Jimmy, I've always believed that. Even when I did my terrestrial radio shows in Georgia, North Carolina, and Florida, I would often say to my audience, as the host, I'm telling you, it isn't whether you get in on the call or not. If you'll just kick back on your chair, your couch, your bed, contact the divine force and say, every single one of these messages can be an omen and a sign for me. I absolutely concur with Jimmy. When I listen to shows like that, I know all my life I've said these messages are all, if I'm bothering to sit here and listen, I don't have to call. I've invited my angels to reveal to me. And you can actually write down each one of the cards that's pulled for a particular show, and it'll be a little story in itself. So I absolutely agree with Jimmy. Sometimes it's real obvious, Kev, like we had that last month, but I'm telling you, that's the way I look at these kind of shows. It's just like, because it's in the moment. It's the magic of the moment. I mean, I close my eyes until I'm picking a card. Then I open my eyes on a landline, and I look at the card. I state the name of it, and then we start to describe it. And then the person, then all the paragraphs drop down with the person's soul and mind and heart. But I absolutely concur with Jimmy that it's all a message, and it's all divine.
Mm-hmm. Hey, can I give a message about my show tonight? Tune in tonight, 10:30 Pacific, Aftermath FM. I got a barn burner for you. You don't want to miss this one. And Kevin McCarran's going to be there as well.
You send him my love. Tell him I'm getting slowly better every day.
Nice.
Yes.
He asks about you all the time, man.
Yeah. Tell him I'm starting to like gradually get back to where I was. Yeah, slowly.
You're a powerful light, Kev. You're a powerful light. You help. I know you help people, and you're very kind. And people always say that to me. Kev is so kind. Kev is he's so genuine and he's so kind. So all of us are going to be sending in the pink light rays to you and your wonderful general that you play all the time, the Hindu guy that I love so much. I'm sending all of his strong energy. And your military friend, was it Rick?
Yep. Rick.
I like him. I like when you play the general.
Yeah, we'll play the general once we get out of here. Thank you for tuning in today, folks. It's been a blast. Thank you to all the callers. Thank you for being a part of the show. And a big thank you to Jimmy and Mary Dusina. It would have been nothing without Scary Mary. So until next time, wherever you are, make it TFR and Denny touch that dial. Yes, indeed. There we go.
Happy Halloween.
Now, if I just turn that off there we go. We're still on YouTube and Disco and Twitch. But yeah, I think the last word always has to go to the general. But Jimmy, you can let people know now who's going to be coming on your show tonight, if you like.
Well, please. I didn't want to get anybody. Vinny Eastwood is going to be coming on the show tonight, and he's from New Zealand. He's been a broadcaster for many years, and apparently he got in some trouble down there, and he was arrested because of what he's been doing. As far as trying to, get whatever messages that he's been trying to get out to people about what's been going on.
God bless and protect him. God bless and protect him. Aho.
Yeah, so he's going to be on tonight, and the doc's going to be on at the same time. So I think they can both coalesce on the conversation.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, I just thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate being here.
Oh, it's been awesome. Pleasure. And a big shout out to Mary as well. And yes, the final word will go to General Bakshi. Who else?
Yes.
Our battle was in defense of the hallowed tenets of liberty, fraternity, equality before the law. The liberty of a citizen cannot be so easily taken away and trifled with. If you are doing your duty to stand up for the truth, you cannot be muzzled. You cannot be threatened. You cannot be intimidated. A whole slew of cases cannot be put against you. We will fight and we will die if we have to. The truth will prevail.
Stay strong, folks. Stay sane. And remember, wherever you are, make it TFR. And I'll be back tomorrow with Scotty Lopez.